Hey guys, sorry I can't be there today. There's nothing new. We're just going to go over a few examples from the stuff we did yesterday that will help you do your work for today. Alright, so we're going to be continuing to work on graphs of sine and cosine graphs using the stuff we learned yesterday. So to kind of recap, whenever you have a sine function, it's going to be in this form. It's going to be y equals something times the sine of something times x. The absolute value of a is going to be your amplitude. And to find the period, you take, if it's in degrees, you take 360 and divide it by your b value. And if it's in radians, you divide 2 pi by the b value. Alright, so, and a lot of times it won't tell you whichever one. Uh, if they have a uh, graph set up, look at the graph to see if it's in radians or degrees. Alright, I'm going to do the first example here in degrees. The next example I want to do in radians. Alright, so it says determine the period and amplitude of 3 sine of 2/3 x. Okay, so for the amplitude, that part is easy. It's just the number being multiplied by the sine. So the amplitude for this one is 3. Okay, now the period is a little bit harder. For the period, you take 360 and you divide it by 2/3. Now, if you remember what to do when dividing by a fraction, you simply uh, flip the fraction, so you take the reciprocal and you multiply it by what's on the top. So this is going to be 360 times 3 divided by 2. Alright, so some mental math here. 360 divided by 2 is 180. 180 times 3. So 3 times 180, that's going to be 540. So the period is 540 degrees. So it takes 540 degrees for this graph to start repeating. Now cosine is a lot the same. A is the amplitude, B determines your period. The only difference in cosine and sine is that cosine starts in a different place. It's like you shifted the sine over 90 degrees. Alright, so same deal here. This time I'm going to be dealing in radians just so you can see an example of that. Amplitude, though, doesn't change. It's still the number in front of your trig function there. So the amplitude here is 3. Okay, and then the period, alright, so since I'm dealing with radians, I have 2 pi, and I divide that by the b value right here. Now, the negative there, it wouldn't really make sense to have a negative in my period, because I'm measuring kind of a distance here, and you can't have a negative distance. So I'm just going to leave it as 2. My 2's cancel out, and I'm left with just pi. So my period is pi. All right, now that we've talked about the algebraic side of it, let's go to a graphing part of it. All right, so here we're given a graph, and we want to determine the amplitude and period of the function and write an equation for it. So we want the amplitude, the period, and then we want an equation. All right, so the amplitude is the height. So just looking at it, I can tell, hey, from here to here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So my amplitude is 4. For the period, I want to see where it starts to repeat itself. So here it goes down and then up all the way back to where it was, and then it starts to go down and up again. So my period is from here to here, which is 120 degrees. Now, I need to figure out what my b value is. In my equation, the a value is easy enough. It's 4. Now, we also need to figure out if this is sine or cosine. So if you think about it, whenever you're thinking about your unit circle, all right, you always start at 0 degrees right here. Remember, sine is the height. cosine is the width. So if you're looking at something that starts up high, that's going to be cosine, because sine will always start right here at 0 unless you shift your graph somehow, and we haven't done that. We haven't talked about it. We're not going to. So just know that if it's up high, it's going to be cosine. So this is going to be 4 cosine of, here's where we got to find our b value. So our original period was 360. So 360 divided by whatever our b value is gives us our period of 120. All right, so I need to solve for b now. I'm going to multiply both sides by b. So I get 360 is equal to 120b. Then I divide both sides by 120. All right, so that gives me b is equal to 3. So my answer is 4 cosine of 3x. All right, well, I hope this helps you guys do your work for today. Be good for the sub. I have spies, and I will see you guys on Friday. Don't forget your quiz. Later. Later.